Hi there, hope you are well. I wanted to share with you a bit of a review about the Enchanted tea rooms in Leamington, where you can take children for a princess experience. So this can just be because you want to, it can be for an occasion. They have extras that you can add, like pamper packages. Lots of extra money you can spend should you want to. So I took my daughter, who is nearly 4, because she's in a phase of loving princesses, and we went on a Saturday. And yes, it is right in basically the middle of Leamington, not the parade, but not far. So it was very, very central. Parking was not ideal. We parked at Bath Place car park, if you know it, and went around the corner. So it was okay, but it's a small car park and it was a Saturday lunchtime. So you can imagine. So we arrived. I struggled very much to get through the door because I had a buggy with me. Oh, what's going on with my hair? Thank you. Just because my little one is in a bit of a phase of meltdowns and I'm not walking at the moment. So I thought, let's just take the buggy. It wasn't great weather. I didn't know how far it was because I hadn't been before. But yes, it didn't fit through the door. There was absolutely no space for it in there. Luckily, the man that was running it took the buggy around the back for me, but then I had to empty everything out of it, and it was all a bit of a pain. Very small, cramped space. So I've written down a few notes that occurred to me, so I will whiz through those now so you can decide whether it's worth it for you to go or not. Overall, I would say my daughter really enjoyed it. But it probably depends. If she was any older, I think she might have seen through some of the quality a little bit. So as far as plus points go, it lasted 90 minutes. So as soon as you get there, you get shown to a table and you are pretty much instantly brought a sort of afternoon tea platter. You can tell them beforehand if you want vegetarian or not, or if you've got any dietary requirements when you book, and they bring that over with unlimited tea or coffee for the adults. So that was fine. You get about 40 minutes of just eating, drinking time, and then the princesses come out and do a couple of performances, 2 or 3, which if you want to see, they are all on this channel. There are 3 different ones. They might be in YouTube Shorts. Yes, they are. So feel free to have a look if you want to actually see the performances. But I believe there are different princesses every week. Yeah, the food was nice. It was good quality food. And the good thing was they came around afterwards and gave everybody takeaway boxes because there was too much there to eat at the time. So that was good. That was dinner as well for us. I think it's good that there were opportunities for pamper packages. We didn't take them up on that because I don't think my daughter is old enough. But that could be a really nice birthday experience. Pretty much all the children there were dressed as princesses. My daughter, being in the little meltdown phase she is, did not want to dress up. In fact, went in without any shoes on even. But, you know, she wasn't bothered and it didn't matter. But it is a good idea to dress up before you go or when you get there, just to not feel left out, really. They didn't only sing their own songs, these princesses. So if you have a look at my videos, you will see that Snow White sang Let It Go, which, you know, we all love that song probably, if we're not sick of it. But it was a bit weird having the wrong character sing it, and they sang so little. It was almost like, if you're going to just sing one song, can't you sing your own song? So that was a little bit odd. I wouldn't really say it's a plus or a minus, but it was just something to consider, maybe worth warning your children about. All right, I'm going into minus points now, and there are probably more of these. I'm quite a critical person, but it cost a lot of money, so I think that's fair. It was, as is advertised, very, very amateur. It was there wasn't really any professionalism or slickness about it. It was a lot of, oh, hold on, the music won't play, let's everybody wait a minute. The actresses, I suppose you would call them, the princesses, look like they could have done with a bit more practice. It was almost that kind of feeling of somebody stepped in at the last minute, and I don't know if that's the case or not, but it certainly seemed that way. I would say, as much as amateur is fine, I'm in amateur theatre group myself, I understand it's of a different standard. The ability of what we saw did not reflect the price, so I think that's a bit crucial there. It was really expensive. We had to pay £10 deposit, and then after the princesses sang their songs, the princesses came around with a card machine, odd, to get the rest of the money. So I said to my daughter, obviously Rapunzel is collecting money so she can buy a new castle. Because how do you explain that? That's just a bit, spoils it a bit really. And yes, then it was another £35 for me and my 3-year-old. So 45 altogether. It's expensive. And I appreciate that they need to pay their rent, but really, in my opinion, they're in the wrong venue, because as I said, they're quite close to the centre of Leamington Spa. Their rent must be absolutely extortionate, which, okay, I understand you need to pay it, but perhaps they needed a different venue, because as well as that, it was basically in a shop, in a row of shops. They needed more space. It was cramped in there. They needed more space, I think. And the fact that it was quite cramped meant that it was also quite loud. So it was quite an overwhelming environment. If you have children with any neurodiverse needs, that's what I am. I have autism, and I found it really overwhelming and overstimulating, because kids are noisy at the best of times. Trapped in a small room with singing princesses, it was a lot. What else? Just that there was no room for things like buggies and prams, which I think I've mentioned. So just bear that in mind if you are going to turn up with lots of stuff. So overall, worth it as a one-off experience. I certainly wouldn't go. I don't think I would go again, just because we've done it now. There were opportunities for photos with the princesses, so we've got our photos, and I think my daughter will be happy with that. I think it's difficult when you have children and you want to explain to them what's going to happen, but you don't know what princesses will be there until on the day. That's not ideal. And it's like, it might be 2, it might be 3, but there aren't more than that, because basically they can't fit them in the room. So everyone was very kind and polite, but yeah, I think probably too much money for what it was. If you've been and you have any opinions, or you want to go and try it, I'd love to hear what you think. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.